it's Bucky with Top Dollar Home Offer. Today I wanted to talk to you and just really show you an interesting diagram that we use. It's called the mechanics of a transaction. This will show you how we go through each step of when we buy a property and all the things that go into it. So sometimes when we say we can close in 7 days, we have to expedite all these steps, and I find it valuable to share with you in case you try to do a for sale by owner, because many of these steps you're going to have to do yourself on your own. If you don't want to mess with all these different steps, then companies like Top Dollar Home Offer, We Buy Houses Tulsa, we can buy your house and take care of all the paperwork, all these different steps and processes. But sometimes people visually need to see the map or the road or the steps on how to get to a transaction being closed or sold, or what we do to find the property, evaluate the property, buy the property, close on the property, all those different steps. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just whiteboard it out for you guys. So we're just going to call this the steps of transaction. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is locate, identify, property or homes, right? So that's the first step. We have to figure out what we're going to go after. The next step is we have to prepare a property case file or a file. Then we come up here and we evaluate it. Once we evaluate it, then we're going to come over here and we're going to put the numbers together. And we're going to review and analyze the transaction. Okay? So that's how we get started. First, we find, locate a property. We prepare a file for it. That means we do our research. Once we locate the property, we go out and then we evaluate the property. Then we put together all the numbers and we review and analyze to make sure we didn't miss anything in these steps here. Okay? That's how we make sure we give you top dollar for your home, because we evaluate the property, we prepare a case file. There's a lot of things we do in here to make sure that we can buy this property and it fits, our buying criteria, and it can help you. I mean, that's the main thing, is we want to help you sell your home fast. We Buy Tulsa's Tulsa. We buy houses Tulsa. We want to make sure we're giving you the top dollar for your property. After that, we will present and negotiate an agreement, right? Means, what are we going to offer you, right? We'll walk through our ARV program. This is where we present our ARV program, okay? And you'll be able to see the 3 different ways that you can sell your property for top dollar. And you get to decide which one best fits your needs. Then the next step, we will prepare and sign the purchase agreement. Okay? So we will actually put together what you decided was the best solution for you as the seller. You'll have all the facts. You'll know exactly what the property's worth. You know all the expenses that it takes to fix the property up to top value. And you'll have all that understanding right there. Okay? Next, we're going to open an escrow. Okay? So we'll open that up. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to satisfy any contingencies. Okay? So once we get an agreement, we take that to the title company, right? That's what open escrow means. And then we'll review. They'll go do a title search, deed search, to make sure there's no liens or anything out there that's outstanding that could cause the property not to be able to be transferred without any encumbrances. We'll satisfy any contingencies. If there's some no's, right? Sometimes this happens. We'll cancel the contract, okay? And unfortunately that does happen. Just be prepared. And we've had it in situations where there was families involved, one didn't sell, or one guy said he could sell it, and we come to find out there was multiple people listed on the deed of the title, and after we do our research, so sometimes there is these issues where we have to cancel the contract. We don't like that. We'll also circle back with you and try to write a new contract with all parties involved, but those things do happen, okay? So this would be a no here, okay? So once we get a yes on all the contingencies, right, we can decide how we're going to close on this, right? We can assign the contract, okay? What is an assigned contract? Sometimes we work with other investors that are looking for other properties that don't meet our buying criteria, and we buy houses, and sometimes we assign them to other investors, right? We have a team that we work with, so there may be other investors that want to buy your property that fits your needs, and that way we can get higher value for your property through our ARV program, okay? So sometimes we assign the contract to another investor. Other times we just close on the transaction, okay? So when we open up escrow, then we're going to close on the transaction on your date, right? We want to make sure that if you're out of town, or we want to be flexible with this, sometimes we can close in 7 days or less. Typically it's about 30 days, or longer depending on what the situation is. Maybe you have to move stuff out of the property, or you need a little bit more time. We can work with you there. The next thing, we want to have a positive cash return, right? That means we want to make sure we get something for all our efforts, right? So we'll make a little bit of money, right, with this assignment fee. The next thing is on this closed transaction, we're going to fix up or rent, okay? Or we're going to fix up and sell. And then it all comes back to both areas here, right? So really this is kind of our overall steps once we go through the transaction and all the different steps that we have to go through in order to turn this into, profit for our company, right? So we have a lot of money going in here, lots of money, lots of money. We spend a lot of money on advertising. And that's how we can locate and identify properties. We do that through a whole bunch of different marketing channels. So this is a big expense. So we take all those expenses less any profit over here, minus expenses, and that's the money we make, okay? So it starts with locating, find the property, the home, whatever it may be. The next step is we prepare a case file. We understand all the things that's involved in that property, do a little bit of research. We go out and look at the property. We put together our numbers. We do another review of all the numbers, all the items, any outside perspective on it. So we'll do a fundamental analysis, and we'll do a just kind of an assumption analysis on the property. We'll negotiate. We'll present our ARV program to you as a seller, if you're a seller. We'll prepare and sign an agreement, and then we'll go open up escrow at the title company. We'll review, make sure there's no contingencies, any of those get satisfied. If they can't, then the contract gets voided. This doesn't happen very often, but it can. Just want to make sure you guys are up front. Sometimes we assign the contract to another investor. Other times we close on the property, and when we close on the property, it'll go into our portfolio as a rental property or a fix up and sell, so a rehab or fix and flip, whatever you want to call it. So when we buy houses Tulsa, we go through every one of these steps on every property we buy, right? And again, the goal here is what every business is in business for, right? is to generate some profit, to pay for our employees, to pay for our expenses, and then that's how we make money. So hope this was helpful. Kind of breaks down all the different steps of a real estate transaction, taking it from identifying the property to where we get to selling it on the final step, right? And again, if we're keeping it, we want to make sure we can have cash flow. If you have other questions or want to know how we buy houses Tulsa, or if you're a homeowner and you say, hey, I want to sell my home fast, give us a call, 918-704-6061, or you can call us 918-212-5442. Find us at www.topdollarhomeoffer.com. We buy houses Tulsa. We'd love to buy yours. Thank you.